Wall Street executives are bracing for a Joe Biden win in November after the Democratic challenger has seen a big surge in recent polls. A number of current and former heavyweights voicing their opinions and concerns to CNBC about a potential blue wave headed for Washington. For more, let's bring in Brian Schwartz, CNBC.com's political finance reporter. Brian, what would you say the Wall Street executives, because you're talking about a lot of banks in particular here, are bracing for or welcoming?
Well, what they're looking at now is, thanks for having me on, by the way. What we're looking at now is the polls are clearly showing Joe Biden is the favorite at the moment. I know everything can change, but that's what they're looking at. They're also keeping an eye on the economic policies that Joe Biden has put out with the belief that he is on track to possibly beat Trump at the moment, particularly the focus on the corporate taxes. Biden has said repeatedly that he is going to raise corporate taxes. He's going to raise taxes on families that make over $400,000. So that's on a lot of people's minds right now. And the reaction on Wall Street, the people we talk to who have links to the banks, private equity, hedge funds, and you name it, they're starting to speak to clients, starting to speak to investors about these potential policies that can be put in place. They're trying to get in touch with Biden advisors and people who are close to the former vice president, now the presumptive Democratic nominee. And that's kind of where we stand right now. And again, I emphasize that this could all change in a few weeks, maybe if the economy starts to shift Trump's way. But there has been a lot of concern from Wall Street, what they're seeing from the White House, from the response to the coronavirus as the markets continue to plunge today in some cases.
Brian, you can think back to 2016 when the tables were sort of like they are now. Hillary Clinton was the prohibitive favorite in the election, and it, of course, didn't work out that way. I would say that I understand why Wall Streeters and business people are concerned about raising the corporate income tax. But is it true or isn't it true that stock investors did pretty well during the Biden-Obama years?
They did do well. I think you're right about that. But they've done very well under the Trump administration. I mean, let's just call it what it is. They've done extremely well. And there's also this other concern, of course, that if Biden does become president, maybe there's that chance that he gets pulled further to the left and he raises taxes more than he maybe wants to right now. So there's all those scenarios that really don't know how they're going to play out. But it is, I don't know if it's necessarily the definite, big concern, but it is just a talking point right now on Wall Street as to how these economic policies are going to go in the next year or so if Biden continues on the track that he's on. But again, to emphasize this one point, Joe Biden has really been kind of hiding in a way from going out and doing any campaign due to the pandemic. He really doesn't, his campaign does not have any motion forward to going out on the campaign trail. And Donald Trump has, and the Biden campaign has taken clear advantage of that because they see Trump, making mistakes on the trail, making mistakes with the coronavirus, and they've been pushing out their message that way while Joe Biden tries to be an empathetic leader from the sidelines. And I think Wall Street has really picked up on that. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily everyone in Wall Street's going to run and back Joe Biden, but they're definitely keeping an eye on this election going forward with Biden, according to pollsters, as the front runner.
Brian, thank you so much, sir. Brian Schwartz. To read his full piece and for more on the 2020 election, be sure to visit CNBC.com.